The regular City Council meeting of April 20th, 2017 is called to order at 7:31 p.m. Madam Clerk, the pledge, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Bodier.
Here.
Councilman Benton. Here. Councilman Hewitt.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Wheeler.
Here.
Mayor Maselli.
Here.
Police Chief Walker.
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr.
Present.
City Attorney Burris.
Present.
City CPA Linda Lulu. Here. And Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee. Present.
I'd like to just state for everyone tonight, we have a very long agenda. The last meeting went extremely long. We almost did not finish the city's business. So I'm going to encourage that we adhere to Robert's Rules of Order and to our city municipal code, and do our best that during Address the Council, try very hard to stay to the 3 minutes, and also during special presentations, that the special presentations are addressing the council. Any questions from the seated audience can come during Address the Council. I'd like to state this for the record, for public record. Notice is hereby given to the council and residents that the council of the city of Harahan will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, May 30th, 2017 at the Harahan City Hall Council Chambers, 6437 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana at 5:30 p.m. for the following: to consider and vote on levying additional or increased millage rates without further voter approval, or adopting the adjusted millage rates after reassessment and rolling forward not to exceed the prior year's maximum. The estimated amount of tax revenues to be collected in the next year from the increased millage is $2,125,402, and the amount of increase in taxes attributable to the millage increase is $20,871.44. Notice is also hereby given that the council of the city of Harahan will conduct a public meeting on Tuesday, May 30th, 2017 at the Harahan City Council Chambers, 6437 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana at 5:40 p.m. to consider a resolution to adopt the 2017 adjusted millage rates and another resolution to set forth the 2017 adjusted millage rates and roll forward the millage rates not exceeding the maximum authorized rates. Madam Clerk, does that meet the requirements?
Yes,
notice?
ma'am. And then, later on in the meeting, calling for the special meeting.
Okay. I'd like
But
to,
as long
at
as it was
this
read.
point, call for a special meeting on May 30th. It will start with a hearing at 5:30, May 30th, 2013. 2013. Boy, I'm going back in time. 2017, at 5:30 p.m. We'll have a special a hearing, followed by a special city council meeting to follow at 5:40. All requirements met?
Yes, ma'am. And that's for the two resolutions.
And the agenda will be of the above stated notices. Is that?
Yeah, and the
for everybody?
proposed
And I believe-
two resolutions, one to adopt the 2017 adjusted millage rate, and the second one to set forth the 2017 adjusted millage rate and roll forward to a millage rate not exceeding the maximum authorized rate.
Okay,
And that's
thank
what
you
the
for
agenda.
dotting the i's and crossing the t's. Okay.
Mayor, can I make a suggestion? This is just a thought, since the council's here. Can we discuss possibly moving the regular scheduled meeting on the third Thursday of May to May 30th and handle all business that night? Is everybody in agreement?
I would love to do that. Would you like to?
Like to make a motion to change the regular scheduled meeting on the third Thursday of May to May 30th at 5:30 p.m.?
I have a motion by Councilman Hewitt, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
And the
Yay.
regular,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. The regular city council meeting will now be
5:40.
at 5:40, right? Because we have the
The
hearing
hearing's on-
first.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at 5:40 p.m.
Thank you.
on May 30th. And Madam Clerk, do you mind asking our maintenance department to post that on the marquee so that no one will be confused? Okay, thank you. What? We voted. Yes.
Come on, Ms. Judy.
Can I have a motion to amend the agenda to delete number 2 under new business and in its place add the ABO for D&C Burgers LLC as number 2?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion is passed and the agenda is amended. I would also like to report that the preliminary closing of the books for 2016 show the city is no longer in a deficit mode and actually has a surplus of approximately $25,000. I think we all can breathe a nice sigh of relief. I would like to congratulate everyone here, all elected officials, all employees, our residents, our businesses, everyone who worked so hard to accomplish this goal. We must continue practicing our sound budgetary and spending practices to continue this trend. Special presentations. I believe Mr. Romelli is here tonight under special presentations. Please do.
Mayor, council. I was asked to come by the mayor and the council. I don't know exactly what do y'all want to talk about.
We just wanted to give the council, anyone here at the dais, an opportunity to discuss any concerns or anything.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
You can-
Hello.
There you go. And Linda, thank you for your shawl.
Mr. O'Malley, I had a citizen that called me right before the meeting. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to attend. He was asking, what is the earliest that trash pickup commences? Like during the day? I heard like 5:30 in the morning.
I think the contract states 5:30.
Some people were saying it was a little early and some noise. They were just asking. So it's from
Okay.
5:30 to 8:30, I think it is. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had to look at,
Okay.
yeah, 5:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
Yes. We normally finish a lot earlier than 8:30.
Okay.
So,
I guess he just heard a little bit this morning, right at like maybe 10 minutes or to 6, and
Okay.
he just asked.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Romelli, how's it
No.
going?
We're trying.
how's it going?
Yeah, so you're 6 weeks,
We feel that
in?
it's going well. We put out 4,389 garbage cans.
How many?
4,389 garbage cans. We think that the majority of the progressive cans are up, but I can't guarantee that. We haven't had any calls to our knowledge of missed garbage. I think there's been some issues of cans blowing over and that type of stuff, but we feel that we're doing a pretty good job, and we hope that everybody on the council and the residents think we're doing a good job.
And I know we had talked when we met about you were just talking about with the cans maybe not being in the right spot. That was resolved, that was taken care of on your end?
Yes, sir. As you mentioned to me,
The cans were being put in different areas than they were supposed to be at. They were put in the middle of the street, they were put blocking driveways. They
Meaning
were-
after it's dumped,
After
where
it
they're
was
dropping
dumped,
it off?
right.
right, we have new hoppers that started, and in their first month, they weren't placing the cans back where they found them. And as a rule, we take our garbage cans after we've dumped them and place them sideways, so when our route manager rides down the
I
street,
see
he can
that.
see if the cans are all done. And that's for our benefit as well as Al's benefit.
To know you're done.
And I think that some of the cans got placed in front of driveways and a little bit off the street, into the street a little bit further. But we have been working with the hoppers, and I think we've got that resolved by now.
And can you explain to the citizens the difference between garbage and trash?
Yes.
Okay.
Good question.
It is a big question. Garbage is wet waste. It comes out of your kitchen. It comes, anything that is not leafy garden type materials. If you trim your bushes, that's called trash. And we'll pick all that up that you put out as long as it's cut to spec. Garbage is stuff that comes out of your kitchen and needs to be containerized. And I'm not sure, but I think the city has an ordinance that it has to be containerized. And that's the stuff that gets put in the garbage can. But stuff on the side of the garbage can should be yard waste. Or C&D, which is construction and debris, stuff that doesn't come out of your kitchen.
So as long as the garbage is within the Romelli trash can, it will be picked up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What if the garbage is not in the Romelli can?
We are picking it up at the present time,
Right.
but we are going to start following the specs of the contract. And we're probably going to start that May 1st. And our contracts says that we're supposed to do certain things, and that's what we're going to start following.
So, Mr. Romelli, people who want an extra can, what is the criteria? And how do I go about it? Because I've been getting a bunch of calls. Well, I've had 2 or 3 cans, and I'd like to have 2 or 3 cans again. And just what's the protocol for a resident to call up, and what are they anticipating to spend? Because we've had discussion, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear as well.
The discussions that I've had with some of the council people and the mayor is that if somebody wants another can, they can call the city. The city, they can come into the city, and I think the last that I spoke with the mayor was an affidavit would be signed that they would be charged an additional $12.39 for that garbage can.
Well, what there are things that we discussed, but they've got to be put, I can't arbitrarily just decide.
I understand that, but then what we would do is we would charge the resident their $12.39 for a garbage can
And
per
that's
month.
Per month.
Per month, yes.
And the $63 is your can price. Is it $63 if I wanted to use a Romelli can?
If you want an extra can, we would charge $65 for the can.
Oh, 65 plus
Yes,
the
sir.
$12 and what was it again?
$12.39 per month.
Fine. Now, what if, I'm gonna ask this question only because I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. What if I had my own cans? What if I purchased my own can? Would I be ensued to pay just the $12.95 a month, or will that not be picked up at all?
It won't be picked up under the original contract that we have with the city.
And are we in negotiations now to either amend or because when people's garbage are being left on the street, it's gonna be mayhem. I mean, it's
Yeah,
mayhem.
we
So-
agree, yeah. We have been in discussion with the council as well as the mayor.
So, Mr. Romelli, you're picking it up now?
I am picking it
Because I
up now,
had my
yes.
extra can out for the weekend just because of Easter and had extra trash and it was picked up. But, so you're saying as of May 1st, you're going to stick to the guidelines of the contract more?
Yes, ma'am.
Instead of being loose over the last 6 weeks trying to figure out the lay of the land and how's it going, but you're going to start May 1st abiding by the contract?
Yes, ma'am. We have to.
Nicole, I just want to reiterate, the additional... If somebody, there's more than just the additional $12.39 a month for the extra can, correct? Wouldn't it be the additional $5 on the water bill and the $63?
The city charges $63 for, per unit.
On the tax bill.
For one can, on the tax bill, once a year. And $60 is broken up throughout the year on your water bill. Your bi-monthly water bill, a total of $10 per can. So it's a grand total of $123 a year, half on your tax bill, half on your
Right,
water
so
bill.
we're talking
For the
123.
service of one can.
Okay, so if I want an extra can, it would be 123 plus potentially this $12.39 a month extra. Is that, it's not just the $12.39 a month, correct? There would be,
This was our conversation I was approaching with you that we needed to address
Okay.
how the city would do that in the municipal code to clarify additional service and the application of the fee.
So what people's gonna do with the trash that don't fit in the can?
Any council, any further
Well,
questions?
I think we need to get some clarification on some numbers for sure, because the way I was understanding it is if you wanted an extra can,
Well, if you put it in a black
May-
garbage bag.
well,
I'm
Well, I think
sorry.
Mr. Romelli answered that question. There's a difference between garbage and trash. If your black bag is leafy material, I believe he's picking that up if it's outside the can. But if it's garbage, like your kitchen waste, and it's outside the can,
We're not going to pick that up.
starting,
Well, we had the olive garbage people pick up everything.
I'm going to ask that we not have anyone from the seated audience ask questions. We've got a lot on our agenda, and to
Answered.
Mr. Romelli. Thank you.
That's it?
I just think there needs to be a little more further discussion at obviously maybe
And
another
I
time to
would like
clarify
to-
exactly what the costs are.
I
I think
would
that's the
also
biggest issue, is the
like to
cost.
thank Councilman Wheeler, Councilman Johnson. They met with me yesterday to discuss some of the municipal code and how to set fees so that it's considered, a legislative act. I've had discussions with Councilman Benton, and so that we can talk about these issues, hash them out, and make sure everything that we do, any potential amendments, I'd like to make sure we put forth before our city attorney and our finance administrator, and work that out also with Mr. Romelli and his company in order to proceed with, whether our lawyers need to talk, et cetera, so that everyone is on board, so that we're dotting the i's and crossing the t's and following the legislative intent of this body.
I have one more question, just to go along with what Ms. Kara was saying. If the guy goes there, sees a black bag there, picks it up, what does he do? He picks it up to feel if it's grass, to feel if it's yard material, or how does that
Remember,
work?
our hoppers are all professionals. They've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
If you pick up a black bag and it has a certain weight to it, the hopper will probably open the bag to see what's in it. If it's a leafy garden-type material, we'll throw it away. If it's household garbage or
You're just gonna
kitchen
leave it there.
garbage, we'll leave it there, yeah.
Nothing bad. In the contract, it says if the can is missing, they file a police report.
Correct.
Okay. What I'm asking the citizens, everybody's got a cell phone with a camera. There's a serial number on the front of your can. Take a picture of it or write the number down, so if you have a can that's missing and you report it, there's 40-something hundred cans out there. We know which one's missing, please.
And I've
Thank you.
also asked Mr. Romelli if it would be okay, saw, his suggestion and recommendation, that you label your can with your address. You can spray
That is
the address
permissible, yes,
on
ma'am.
it,
Yes.
and that way it can be returned to you, should something happen.
Because we've already had issues with cans being missing, and somebody picks up 2 cans, and, we've had issues already. And we're going to, regardless of where it is, that we're going to have problems with it. So,
I don't have a question, Mr. Morelli. I would
all
just-
right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, I'd like to just make a statement. Just to the people and the citizens out there, just so you know that, and I'm not trying to accuse, but the mayor has entered into a contract with Romali and saved the city $80,000. But if your garbage is outside your can, it will not be picked up. Now, we are here to help, no matter what you guys do, but when it does start happening and mayhem does get started, you need to make sure that you can call us at any time, but you need to call City Hall and have it addressed with the mayor and the mayor's office. And so I just wanted to make sure but I'm sure at some point the contract will get renegotiated, and that 80,000 savings will probably be diminished a whole lot more. But again, when it doesn't get picked up, you need to call City Hall.
Well, City Hall's gonna do nothing.
Okay. Our next special presentation is Stewart Consulting, Calvin Hotmeyer. I've asked Mr. Hotmeyer to come and speak to our sewer system
Yeah, she
and
said
the
no,
next
too. She
plans
had three.
for upgrades, maintenance, improvements.
Wanted to give an update on the clean water construction projects that'll be going on very soon. After state review and approval of the bids, we have awarded 2 contracts. The first of which is the sewer line rehab and rehabilitation in pump station areas 6, 7, and 8. And that is essentially the area from Hickory to Colonial, from Jefferson Highway to the gym, and including the Royland area. Those areas will have a $1.3 million contract that'll take 9 months to complete. That will involve about 1,500 feet of pipe being replaced or rehabilitated, 100 point repairs, and approximately 50 service line lateral connections. The contractor is Gulf Coast Underground. They are from Mobile, Alabama. They are licensed in the state of Louisiana to do this work. And again, that contract is $1.3 million. Bid number 2 was just over 2, and bid number 3 was about 2.5. And again, the first phase of this work will probably start in the Wilson Street area on the rear lot lines. The second project is manhole rehabilitation throughout the city. There are 90 manholes that will be repaired. Most of this work is inside the manhole. There are about 5 or 6 of them that will have the grates replaced or the
Can you
manhole
explain
covers.
why that's important also?
Again, all of this is associated with the sewer system and the treatment plant that is being overrun with infiltration and inflow, which is rainwater and groundwater seeking into the pipes, leaking into the manholes. So this project will help reduce that so that we would, potentially have more capacity, less overflows at the plant. We're currently operating on occasion at 6 million gallons a day, and it's rated for 1.5 million. There are peaking factors, there are issues that are normally addressed, but this is at capacity right now. The repairs will help remove, which is essentially rainwater going through the treatment process. Again, will also help reduce overall cost to the system. Again, that manhole project has also been awarded to Gulf Coast Underground. They were the low bidder at $91,000. The next low bidder was at $240,000. That project should start in early May and is only going to take about 60 days to complete. Again, we have the Ames Group who is doing the inspection and construction administration for this project. We've already informed the police chief and the fire chief that we will be letting them know where we're working, when we're working, so we can work around any emergency services in that area. And that it will be an ongoing project. We'll give them weekly updates on where we're going to be working. At the end of these projects, again, the other project's about 9 months long. We'll still have one project to go, which we hope to get started early next year, and that'll bring us to the $4 million that we have on the loan program.
And Mr. Hartmeyer, can you just reiterate how the city decided, the engineer decided on the lines that we are?
2 years ago, we did TV inspection of all the lines throughout the entire city. That was analyzed. The worst of the lines were then selected. We chose the areas that were most impacted. Pump Station 8 pumps 90% of the flow into the treatment plant. Reducing flow to 8 allows capacity in the entire system. 6 pumps to 8. It's another large contributor. We're looking at other projects to potentially reroute 6 away from 8. Would save us a lot of capacity. And one of the things when we first started this, we had overflows every time it rained. And I'm sure you remember those discussions with sewers backing up in houses, and I'm sure we still have areas that have that problem because we haven't fixed them. But we have done significant work on the pump stations to keep them fully operational. So all of that, through that evaluation, we prioritized the lines that needed repair. The next project is pump stations 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you notice, these are all the low numbers. These are all the older areas. So that's why we're doing it. That's the areas just south of Jefferson Highway. And that should help reduce the flow to the plant and, again, reduce our cost of treatment.
And remember, this is, correct, we were having backups that potentially went into homes, into streets.
And into the streets, and it was, 2 Christmases ago, it was a weekly occurrence because it was a rainy Christmas.
Well, so I got a question. I know you're not with Veolia, so you might not be able to answer it, but because I was asked by a couple citizens, all these trucks that get emptied at Veolia, does this add to the backup of the sewer system itself?
My understanding of that original agreement was those are only used, those extra trucks that are going to Veolia are only during non-rain events and when capacity is available. So it should not affect any overflow. And this is a 5,000 gallon issue. That's a fairly nominal amount when you're talking about 1.5 million in a day. So 5,000 is not going to create an overflow. But again, there are checks and balances in place primarily related to cannot be raining, cannot have a high capacity day. They won't accept the waste.
I know it's still very dilapidated, so that's why I was wondering if.
We've done some significant efforts at the effluent pump station. All 3 pumps are fully functional for the first time in 15 years, supposedly. I haven't been here for 15 years, so I can't attest to that, but that's what I've been told. But all 3 pumps are now functional at the effluent pump station.
That really improved things. Any other questions? I want to personally thank you. Calvin Hartmeyer has come at a split second, multiple times a week, answers multiple emails, phone calls, text messages. You are so responsive. I really want to thank you for
I am available whenever y'all want.
your work ethic and your ability. So I'd like to just
Be happy to respond to any of y'all at any time. So, thank you.
thank you
you.
very much.
Still answers my phone calls, so we don't
Third under
answer my calls.
Third, under proclamation for fair housing month, I understand that we have complied with electronic filing, and we just wanted to make that announcement. Darlene Schwartz, would you like to come up, our community liaison?
Good evening, everybody. Recognizing y'all got a pretty hefty agenda tonight, I'll try to get through this quickly. So, yep, I'm back one last time for the next 6 months. Got drugs, Saturday, April 29th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Rite Aid Pharmacy parking lot or Harahan Police Department lobby. Come drop that stuff off so we can get rid of it for you. Please, if you have any questions, call police department, call me.
What day is that again, Darlene?
Saturday, April 29th. We'll take anything anybody's got. Please help us out with this project. Really appreciate it. An event, May 3rd, wanted to remind the seniors especially, the 2017 Medicare update at the Harahan Senior Citizen Center. Again, that's May 3rd, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Wednesday, they're going to talk about Medicare Part D, drug plans, etc. I'm not quite there yet, but might go just to get some information for when I am. Let's see. Here we have got. Next up, guys, look. The law enforcement torch run is with the Special Olympics is going to be taking place May 18th. That's a Thursday. 3.2 miles. No, I cannot run 3.2 miles. I don't think I can run 3.2 blocks. But you do not need to be able to run to help the Special Olympics out. They're selling T-shirts, $25 a piece at the Kenner Police Department lockup in the back. They've got a big party at the end of it. You can participate. They got door prizes. They have food. For the cost of a T-shirt, considering giving this a chance for a charitable contribution. The police department, we work with them every year on this. We provide some personnel, including myself. If you want to run part of the route, they have a bus that lags behind that you can jump on the bus. If you can't do it, I'm telling you, it's a fun time. It really is, and it's for a good cause. So if you need any other information, again, give me a shout. I'll be happy to. And council and mayor, yes, out there.
I'll be jumping on.
Okay. And you. And let's see, we had one other thing. What am I doing here? Oh, geez. Oh, a little bit ahead of time, but I'm going to jump all the way forward to October when the weather will be cooling off. That's when we'll be doing our Night Out Against Crime event at St. Rita once again. That's going to be a Tuesday night, October 17th. The pre-party will be at Lafreniere Park on that Sunday, October 15th. They have a red beans and rice cook-off. If anybody here can cook, Blue Runner supplies the red beans, and you might win yourself a nice little award. Give me a shout. Let me know. I know that's a ways down the block, but I just wanted to kind of put the thought in everybody's mind if anybody thinks they're a cook and they would like to participate in that. Other than that, guys, recycle bins, I want to just say, I'm on the receiving end sometimes of people calling in with the recycle bins being full or whatever. Call, let us know. Romelli has been very good at getting out there and emptying it. I think they do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but they've made some special trips for when they get filled.
They're willing to empty them whenever we ask.
Right, right. And the other thing is, I'd like to think we have some really intelligent people that are living here in Harahan. That being said, we've had an issue on a couple occasions where people have put crawfish heads, motor oil, things that are not recyclable in the recyclable bins. If that gets contaminated, forget it. None of it can be recycled. So, you know, let's hope that wasn't an intentional thing. It was a boo-boo, but no more boo-boos. We want to recycle stuff, please. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Chief Walker. And
Mayor, council, viewing public, a couple of presentations. I want to bring up two young ladies, Bailey Wheeler and Alexandria Wilkin. Would y'all come forward, please? I can't believe much these young girls have grown in the last couple of years. I took office in May of 14, and during the summer, these two young ladies, along with a few others, came in and helped volunteer in the police department. Even though they put in their community service hours, they exceeded it. They came back afterwards and did this exceptional help additional to what was required. And can't believe they're seniors. And look how much they've grown up. They're graduating this year. They're going off. They're young ladies, and they've really did a lot to help the city and help the police department. And we're very, very appreciative. I know your moms are here. We'd like to take a picture with your moms and you work with my secretary, yes. Ms. Whittle?
Chief, how many hours?
Oh, it was countless hours. They exceeded what they were required to do for the community service. They came back even after they completed that time.
How about we give a nice round of applause?
I'm sure whatever they do in the future, they will exceed. Okay. Moms, come on up. Alexander.
Yeah, I was telling her.
Let me get an hand.
I was talking to her before the night.
All right, thank you. And again, thank y'all. Good luck to y'all. Y'all going off to college. And we appreciate everything that y'all do for us. I know Miss Tracy's gonna miss y'all. Y'all welcome to come back. Okay. Okay,
Thank you, Chief.
thank you. Some months back, we were having a problem going over the minutes, and several things that I would speak about it at the meetings wasn't being presented properly in the minutes. So I'd offered to give my spot up front so that the secretary for the council could take the minutes a little more accurate. I know in the special presentations last month, I spoke about Viola, that we're bringing truckloads of this potassium hydrate, 5,000 gallons a day, and none of that's in the minutes. When I gave my presentation last month, I probably spoke 7 to 8 minutes, and nothing mentioned. It just, hopefully it's something can be done where the minutes are taken a little more accurate.
Madam Clerk, Nicole, you told me what your understanding of the minutes and what is mandated. Do you mind repeating what that is? And because I
mean-
know it's like under a city clerk thing and it's been delegated out, so. if you
Yeah,
could
Judy's
just-
been doing the minutes for how many years, Judy? About
Just
20, yeah,
what
for a
are the
very long
param-
time.
what's the expected-
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but the way I understand the minutes law is pretty much when action was taken, you have to put the date, the time, the place of the meeting, roll call, who was present or absent, and when action was taken, when votes, when there's votes.
I just find it a little strange with everything the mayor
or unless
says
you
is
put-
verbatim.
Or-
I speak for 6, 7 minutes and nothing gave his
But-
report. That was it.
But
I'm
Nicole,
just-
what did you say that it's some, if you, like. your
Unless you say
understanding
for
is
the
that-
record or,
Right, okay. I just wanted to say.
I mean,
'cause
that's
we've
the
asked
clerk's
this question, and
interpretation. As
that's
I
all.
said, I'm not a lawyer. Gilbert, if you have anything you want to add to that.
Nothing.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Mayor sent an email out on April 13th saying there might be an increase in insurance.
Chief, you have to say for the record.
Everything I say from now on is for the record. Okay.
Well, I think the
Unbelievable.
only point, not
All
to
right.
speak for you, Chief, the only point you're trying to make is for it to be consistent, correct?
That's
So
all
if
I'm
the
asking,
minutes
yes.
are consistently going to capture some people's comments for the record, they should collectively encompass all of our comments, correct?
For the record.
That's all we're trying to say. Be consistent.
Yeah. I got a question. I got a email from the mayor on April 13th, I'm sorry, saying that there's a possible increase in health insurance. Then a couple of days ago, I'm on Medicare. I don't have city insurance, but I got a card for vision care, and it says effective July 1st, this new insurance is going. Have we negotiated a new insurance policy for health insurance for the city?
It's under bid right now. This is the time that they do it. I haven't gotten anything official.
Why would they
or
send me a
anything.
card saying July 1st this is going into effect?
Wait, what is?
Vision and vision coverage. I got a card in the mail a few days ago, says starting July 1st, I have vision coverage.
Chief, I'm happy to look into if you would forward me the information that you've received, and I can talk to.
If your other employees had the
Dahl.
same thing, I mean.
can talk to Dahl Insurance and
So there's
see
no
what
new
happened.
contract in place with health insurance for this coming year?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
Well, how would it say effective July 1st
But
then?
I have no idea.
but the health insurance is different than you said. It was vision and.
What's part of health insurance policy is from Humana.
I'm just saying. I'm asking. Yes.
No, it's a Humana from health
Okay.
insurance, yes.
So if you would just forward that to me,
Okay.
and we can get that cleared up.
Sure.
Okay.
This is for the public.
And if you would give me a heads up prior, if you have a question concerning that, I would have the answer for you, and then we could give everyone the,
Mayor, I've
the
done
information.
public records requests that haven't been answered yet in the past for items. So it's got to, we have to come to a council meeting to ask for something and keep my fingers crossed that I'm gonna get a reply. All right, next, streetlights. For the public's information, we, the taxpaying citizens of Harahan, we pay over $9,000 a month for street lighting. I'm interested in street lighting for several reasons. I'm a taxpayer. Secondly, lighting deters crime. We've been making a concentrated effort, meaning the police department going around tagging poles that have the lights out. We send it into Energy. We've been putting these yellow caution tapes around. A few times people have been taking them off. I guess they think kids are putting them out. If you see a yellow caution tape, leave it. After they repair the light, they'll take the tape down.
And Chief, I'd like to thank you. That's been a very big benefit.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
very
would
much.
say the major thoroughfares, probably 95% all the lights are in use or have been fixed. Then I'd asked at a couple of meetings back, and I never get a reply, that heard and you indicated that was under review. Outsourcing payroll, is that going to be something that we're going to do?
That can't, anything that gets done, if there's a cost, has to have an allocation. So that would be something that we'd have to bring before the council.
Is it still being considered?
It's something that was talked about and evaluated, but nothing formal.
Nothing wrong, okay. Then reviewing what we can review on our computer regarding the Harahan Police Department finances. April 6th, there was a charge of $94.75. I'm going to ask this to Ms. Lulu. There was a check drawn on account 4112404, which is dues, fees, memberships, made out to the Department of Public Safety. Do you have any idea what that's about? We didn't authorize it. No, $94.70. This is it. You can look at it and see. $94.75.
We can,
A lot of the dues are for an entire year. A lot of the dues for every department are for an entire year, and we're supposed to put them into a prepaid account, and then you allocate it out divided by 12 each month. So that's what this is.
Well, I don't have any
can't tell you
dues that
which
go
one it is.
$24 a month for 12 months. And it's
Well, I
with
have to
Department of
look
Public
to see.
Safety. I don't have anything with Department of Public Safety. Possibly, but they won't get our license plates through a local vendor.
Well, I have to look. It's not like I know every account in dollar.
Okay. I mean, if you look at the second, third page, you have no idea what accounts that's listed in? And I know you approve every check that's issued, so you're not familiar with it.
I don't know what that acronym is. OLALCH.
Something for the Department of Public Safety. It's nothing we've ordered. So I'm just curious as to why it was charged to our account.
I don't know.
In dealing with that, just what, a month ago, we got the financials through 2016. We're now April 20th, and we log on the computer, and as I mentioned in previous meetings, we still can't get the answers. I'll call it the checkbook balance. There's nothing for 2017 that's logged in. Do you have any idea when we'll start getting financials for this year?
What do you mean nothing's logged in?
When we go on our site on Encode, we can't find where anything's been charged to our 2017 budget. Has entries been made into a budget for 17?
And it's still showing
16.
I don't know about the police side, because y'all are on a different server and everything. Our side has 2017 budget. I have typed all those numbers in. When I go into it, it immediately goes to 2017. I have to actually go through several mechanisms to make it show me 2016.
Okay, and the other thing, request we have is that we don't have read-only capabilities of everything for the police department's operating budget. And is there any problem where we could have access to all the different areas of the operating budget for the police department? Which ones we don't have?
We had asked for, read-only for payroll to help with clients, not to change anything, just to be able to.
Read-only.
For, the revenue accounts, to be able to see everything in the revenue accounts, so that we can see when the deposits are being posted.
All of the revenue expense accounts you have access to. Not the payroll, that's a separate system. I don't even have access to that. But
Just to be able to read, we don't want to have to post on it, we don't want to change it.
excuse me, they're having difficult because if we're not, everybody's not talking into a microphone. Since we're meeting on, correct, there's a meeting on Monday, can we delineate some of these issues and maybe hash them out?
Okay. I mean, we've asked about this before and never did get an answer. That's why I'm saying it here.
and you're not seeing the 2017.
No, we're not.
You're not seeing the 2017 budget or any of your checks that were cut. 'Cause I mean, I know your checks are cut.
No,
You've seen the checks are
No,
cut.
we can see the checks and we can see our POs and everything. We just can't see It's still showing the 16 budget. It's not showing the 17 budget.
Okay.
But you're saying stuff's been entered for 17?
Mm-hmm.
We're just having a problem? Okay.
Yeah, we might have to call in code. but-
Okay, all right. This past week, I met, along with my staff, met with JP Councilman Paul Johnson, along with the traffic engineer for the parish, going over this additional signage and lighting coming up on River Road, coming in from the east side of Harahan to try and slow down some of the speeders. Also at the meeting, I brought up at the end of Hickory by the Shooters Club, a dead end at the railroad tracks. They asked, and they just did it in the last couple of days, put some additional signage. We had somebody actually a couple of times this year, run into those stop signs and run into the railroad tracks. So, all right. What are you getting there?
Turn the wrong way after the
After the last council meeting, or prior to that, I'd asked the council that any monies that were left over in the police department's 2016 operating budget would be transferred over to the Harahan Police Department's 2017 capital budget. When we made that proposal, all we had was some figures. We didn't have, all the figures weren't in the computer at the time. And the best guess estimate that we had was we were under budget at that time, $105,676. The ordinance was passed, and then the mayor contacted me, and also Ms. Hammond, who's a CPA with our city auditor, saying that there was some difficulty with the ordinance, would have a problem with the mayor vetoing it. They would do another ordinance in the coming months, and they would transfer the money over. Well, after we got finals, probably in the last 3 weeks for 16, it shows we $79,000 under budget. We looking at it, and we think we bought as much as $137,000 under budget. But my real question is, if you all transfer the $105,676, is it coming from our 2016 operating budget, or is it coming from some other account? That's my question. Where is that money coming from? Somebody answer?
The money for all of the departments at the end of the year roll into the ending fund balance. The new ordinance puts up for 2017 and takes money from the ending fund balance and puts it into your line items in the capital project fund.
It's coming from the 16 operating budget. Why are you shaking your head no, Beck?
It rolls into the,
Fund balance.
But it's coming from, it's coming,
It's coming from the ending fund balance, so whatever you.
but it's still coming from 16, from
It's coming
operate.
from an accumulation of all
Of
the
it,
years.
okay.
It's not
right,
A running
But it's coming out of
total.
our operating budget from 16, not a capital account,
correct.
correct? Is it coming from a capital account or an operating account?
I know this is up for, because I have a question about the ordinance too. It talks where it's going, but it doesn't say where it's coming from. Usually the ordinances that are in the budget say we're taking it from this line and moving it here. This ordinance just states where we're putting it, but it doesn't say where it's. Can you hear me? Okay. And I know I know this is coming up, so we can address this, but it just says the capital project budget is amended. So I'm reading as if this 105.6 is coming from capital. But this ordinance just states where it's going. It doesn't say, I guess the past ordinance we've seen about amending budgets, say we're taking it from line 1, 2, 3, 4, this department, and moving it to 5, 6, 7, 8 in this department. This just says where it's going. It doesn't say where it's coming from. But in the body of it, it says that the capital budget is being amended. So I have the same questions that the chief was asking, but I know this is on the agenda. We can address that when we get to that point. I'll make sure to address that.
All right, thank you. Mayor, I'm just curious, get the outcome of your public opinion survey? Your public opinion survey is being conducted.
What public opinion survey?
Okay.
If you want to elaborate, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to elaborate. Please.
I have had messages, phone calls in the last week that somebody's doing a public opinion survey of Harahan residents. And it appears to be looking into the performance of the police chief and the mayor. And some of the questions are kind of derogatory compared to the police department. And I was just curious as how the outcome. I have no reason to run a poll. Polls are expensive, they $3,000 to $5,000. And So you say you're not you're not aware of it?
I have no.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
I've got, actually, Chief, to answer
Okay.
totally honestly, I got one phone call from one person saying that there was a phone call.
Okay.
That's all I knew about it.
All right,
And
thanks.
that happened yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to give your report? 'Cause
I'll wait
at
till
the
the end.
Okay, thank you. Address the council. Would anyone like to come up to address the council? Please state your name and your address, and please remember, we've got a litany of resolutions and ordinances, so we're going to really, I'm asking for everyone's indulgence to try and help this council meeting run smoothly.
You doing okay? You okay?
I use some temporary glasses. Okay, my name's John Ream. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Okay, my name's John Ream, and I live at 3 Wren Pass. And we sent to the LDQ and the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority commissioners, the mayor and the council members, a 7-minute video clip from the Harahan City Council meeting on June the 19th, 2016. Wood Materials attorney, Remy Donnelly, and a linear engineer gave a presentation on Harahan, at the Harahan City Council meeting on what Wood Materials commits to do on the Batcher, stating Wood Materials will put in a permit with the Corps of Engineers and explain plans on a new haul road along the river, abandoning the old haul road and placing a tree curtain up. The East Jefferson Levee District will maintain the grass cutting on the abandoned haul road. Heavy equipment and dump trucks running on the old haul road parallel and directly behind the levee cause noise, vibrations, and airborne sand to nearby homes, and also affecting residents and people exercising and enjoying the Mississippi River Trail on top of the levee. We have heard from different people several times last year that Durr Heavy Equipment Company was moving off the Batcher in Harahan. Now we have heard that Durr is planning to keep the old haul road for their use of moving their equipment in and out of the Harahan Batcher. Every morning and evening, Durr brings very heavy and large trucks on the haul road and parks these vehicles overnight on the Batcher. This activity is against Harahan NU Batcher District Zoning Ordinance 1333. Line 6 states, accessory uses attended to above uses provided no structure exceeds a maximum of 1,000 square feet in area. There shall be no storage or overnight parking of any vehicles on the property. We are asking the mayor and council to hold Wood Materials responsible for their commitment to abandon the old haul road, just as there is no haul road from Bailey to Raven directly behind the levee. We are asking the mayor and council to hold Wood Materials accountable to their commitments made on June 19, 2016 to the city of Harahan. Also, Wood Materials commitments were made to the Louisiana, the LDEQ, and the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority East Commissioners and New Orleans City Business, August 12, 2016. They stated their commitment by explaining plans on a new haul road along the river, abandoning the old haul road, and placing tree curtains. East Jefferson Levee District will maintain the grass cutting and abandon the old haul road. Please hold them close Wood Material accountable. I'm supposed to show y'all where it was.
I am Nancy Dillard from 1125 Generis. I have lived in Harahan for over 30 years and really enjoyed it until now. I have a ruined home because of this drainage system. I'm just a little ways from the ditch they dug, and my house rattled and shook daily while they were doing it. Then the doors started not closing right. So I had been wanting to get it raised. I went to Michelle Gonzalez and talked with her, but my house didn't flood enough times. Thank God for that. Anyway, she sent me to the insurance company, Maxine something, that for this drainage system. Well, they came out and walked over the house, and then I got a letter that it was already that way before this started. I can't prove it. They can't prove it. Do I have a ruined home because of it? Is that, or do I have any other alternative? If anybody has any ideas on the subject, I'd be glad to hear them.
I'm happy to meet with you in private and see if we can help you with it.
Okay, all right. And one other little problem, coyotes. I walked out of my house a few days ago at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and here's this coyote walking down the sidewalk like he owned the town. And I have a cat, and my neighbors have cats, and we're just concerned about that too. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rhonda Bagby. I have two issues I want to address. The first one is, instead of y'all sitting up here making spectacles of yourself, you need to think about adopting an ordinance and having it enforced, making skateboarding on the streets and parking lots illegal. Another thing is all these holy rollies that come banging on your door every Saturday. We need to do something to put a stop to that. And Mr. Burris, I want to tell you, I think you're the most wonderful professional man. Don't let them abuse you and disrespect you. Thank you.
Tommy Buddy, 7208 Stoneleigh Drive. I heard Mr. Ramelli earlier say that he was going to start.
Might want to pick up the mic a little bit.
I'm sorry. I heard Mr. Ramelli say earlier he was going to start enforcing the contract, and he wasn't going to pick up owner-provided receptacles. Well, I'm glad to hear him say we're going to enforce the contract. The contract defines a term, waste receptacle, and that's resident-supplied containers. And then on page 12 of 23 and 13 of 23, it discusses the collection of those waste receptacles. That's a can that I go down to the hardware store or Home Depot and buy and put whatever I want to put in it, and they have to pick it up. So let's not roll over. Let's read our contract before we talk about paying anything additional.
Mr. Buddy, do you mind, for my benefit, just, you've got my email to send me your specific concerns since you've done so much homework?
I'll be happy to do that, but I mean,
I
the city hired somebody to
understand.
write a contract up,
No.
and then it was negotiated and executed. So I'm hoping somebody from the city will do it, but I'll be happy to do
I
that.
just want to have you,
Mr. Buddy, what page does it talk about residents'
12.
garbage cans?
12 and
Well,
13.
well, no, in the definitions, in alphabetical order, there's waste, capital W, or receptacle. And that talks about resident-supplied cans, not a Ramelli can. And it talks about containers. It doesn't say whether it's a garbage can or a plastic bag or whatever. So my position as a resident is, if I go buy me 1 or 2 or 3 hardware cans from True Value or Home Depot, and I put stuff in it, it's going to get picked up. And I'll refer to Section 2, Scope of Services on page 5 of 23. It says that they're going to pick up all city-wide waste. So I think the contract says if we put it out, they're going to pick it up. There's no provision for additional cost. I won't beat this to death. The other thing, it's almost in a line of question, because I don't have all the answers. But I looked at some information the mayor provided, one of Ms. Lulu's schedules, and it supports the $5.75 sewer fee, increased to $5.75. And when I heard this discussed, I heard that this $5.75 was necessary to support the principal and interest. I may not have heard everything that was said, but what I'm seeing here now,
Motion to extend.
By how much?
what I'm seeing here,
5 minutes.
I have a motion to extend by 5 minutes by Councilman Hewitt, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
what I'm seeing here now is the schedule titled Exhibit 11. It's a spreadsheet, and I believe Ms. Lulu probably prepared. It's very professionally done. Includes in the use of that our sewer fee income projections for 2017 through 2022, 6 years, includes expenditures for lift station 6 rerouting of about $750,000. It includes plant upgrades, which are north of $1.3 million. It includes emergency repairs with, and I guess that's an estimate, $150,000 a year for 6 years, $900,000. This is north of $3 million. Now, the 575 supports all of this. So in addition to spending the $4 million of the DEQ loan, paying back the DEQ loan during this period, we're spending over $3 million in a 6-year period. I don't remember any mention of that. This may be very good governance, because these repairs probably need to be made. But I'm going to ask if we can get some report on the need, the timing. If we could stretch this 6 years out over 10 years, you could reduce the $5.75 and make the long-term commitment to getting our sewer system and plant where it needs to be. And the other thing is, I would think before we spend $900,000, over $1.3 million on the sewer plant, and continue to spend over $500,000 a year in contract average to Veolia over the 6-year period, there may be time for the city to explore again possibility of merging our sewerage system with Jefferson Parish. And that would have to be done quickly before we start spending all this millions of dollars. So that's all I have. And I mean, those comments about the sewers, the sewer rate and the sewer system, if there's any support, schedules, explanations for what makes up that the plant upgrades and the lift section 6 rerouting, I'd appreciate if they could be put on the website and so the citizens could see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Brusick, 7204 Stoneleigh. Same as last time. Ready with your timer?
Not
Hey, can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm ready now.
Okay, fantastic. I have a whole series of questions. I'm going to try to go quickly, but I would like some answers to a few of these. I was very disheartened to see that Mr. Romelli beat feet immediately, because I had a bunch of questions for him. He just stood here and said that he was not going to pick up trash bags. But as Mr. Buddy just said, on page 5, yes, he is. On page 13, it goes back into it. And at page 17, there's a $200 penalty per day that he lets that sit out there. So, folks, if he lets a bag sit, call City Hall and then call Romelli, because I hope to God you guys charge him $200 per day. I hope you hit him with it, because he sure should not be letting that stuff sit and rot outside on your driveway. So, I've reviewed that contract as well, and I can tell you it is, for Harahan, we love it, because Mr. Romelli is just utterly screwed. That being said, we're perfectly happy because he is. I hope we save a ton of money. Now, with regards to the engineering and Miss Lulu's numbers, I don't know if anybody here is a Ron Reagan fan, but I believe in trust but verify. Tom was just asking for a bunch of information with regards to the $900,000, the $1.3 million. I was interested in why the fee for management goes up almost double, seemingly overnight, by Veolia in the management line. So I would like to have some verifying documents and where you got those assumptions to begin with, Ms. Lulu. If possible, I would like to see those. If I have to do a public records request, so be it. I would prefer not to have to go through that step. And last but not least, I'm very, very curious. I saw the statute or the ordinance which dictates how these contracts are supposed to be, portioned out, reviewed by the city council, and then ratified. But more importantly to me, are these public bid contracts? Are they subject to Title 38? Maybe Gilbert can answer that. The Ramelli contract, was that put out to a standard bid process? Were the multiple bids opened? Things like that. With regards to the two contracts that Mr. Stewart just mentioned, did those go through the public bid process? What kind of verification do we have as citizens to be able to double check what those bids were? What did they cover? What were their scopes and what were their exclusions? So I would ask Mayor, Council, if you could look into that and determine what process did these various contracts take? What path did they get to signature? Because that's a very important check and balance of our government. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I did it in 3 minutes.
You did.
I timed it, so I should be okay. But I get nervous when those beep, those little, waiting for that little beep, scare you.
I started.
She started.
We've been here like for 2
You want me
years,
to
y'all.
restart?
Yeah,
She started
restart.
already.
Okay.
Restart.
Okay.
You ready?
Thank you. Evelyn Ream. The Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry, Joey Bros, said to us, if you find Wood Materials is doing anything in violation of their permit, we will revoke their BMP permit. Wood Materials is doing something in violation of their permit. They are operating a large composting mulching facility on the Batcher in Harahan against Harahan NU Batcher zoning ordinance 1333. Compost and mulch is not a permitted use on the Batcher, and Line 6 states no manufacturing on site. Wood Materials compost and mulching is also against LDAF BMP requirement. Your facility must comply with all applicable federal, state, and local regulations and/or ordinances. Without a BMP permit, Wood Materials compost and mulching would not exist on the Batcher. Because LDAF is not a party on December 7, 2016 temporary injunction, LDF is free to uphold BMP requirement and Harahan NU Batcher zoning ordinance and uphold the mayor and council members' letters sent to LDAF requesting LDAF to immediately revoke Wood Materials BMP. We have sent the LDF and the LDQ and the mayor and the council members emails concerning many facts and dated Google Maps and public record files to prove many other reasons why Wood Materials BMP should be revoked. We thank Senator Danny Mattini for sending Commissioner Mike Strain an email on behalf of the Harahan residents regarding Wood Materials compost and mulching. We thank Councilman Tim Bodier for his personal email to Commissioner Mike Strain. We are in desperate need of some help here in Harahan. I am working with some great citizens to get a terrible problem resolved. Please read the attached letter and please, at your convenience, reach out to me. We need your leadership, guidance, and your help. We hope the mayor and the council members will send a personal email to Commissioner Mike Strain, as Councilman Tim Bodier did. We joined the over 300 residents' signed request to remove mulch and compost off the Batcher and Harahan. President Pierce Wood knew before bringing mulch and compost on the Batcher and Harahan that it was against Harahan ordinance, but withheld that information from state agency Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry. Jefferson Parish stopped sending trees to Wood Materials Batcher and Harahan and stopped accepting compost from Wood Materials. All tree companies should stop dumping trees on the Batcher against Harahan Batcher ordinance. We're asking the mayor and the council members to continue to address Commissioner Mike Strain to revoke Wood Materials BMP. And if I have just a minute, I would just, we haven't brought this in a very long time, so I'd just like to explain to everybody, especially TV audience, what Johnny was talking about as far as the Hall Road. This is a Hall Road right here that Remy and the engineer got up and said that they would retire this Hall Road. When the mayor asked the question about the Hall Road, they said they would retire this Hall Road and they would, Justin Parish would be responsible for planting the grass. While that is so important just a little illustration, and I'll stop. I won't be sure. Why that is so important is what we need is this area here where it runs along the back by the river. They are now putting they got their permit, I think, and they're now proceeding. They're cementing back here. So they're going to be going back here behind the river, just like this. Okay, so when they do this, it's going to be all lined up back here behind here, away from the residents. But what we need them to do is do the same thing here. Take this tree curtain, slide it all the way down here, protect the residents, and also plant the grass here. That's very important to do that. This is a very large compost facility right here. It is against the ordinance. It's illegal. It shouldn't be back there. It should have never gotten back there. It's always been against ordinance. It started with a tree dumping for emergency debris, and it turned into keeping it and not stopping it. So from that point on, what we need is, it's affecting all these residents, so we're asking the mayor and the council members, please make sure that he moves the Hall Road as he made a commitment to all y'all and other people, and please make sure that you keep on addressing Mike Strain.
Thank
Y'all
you.
not, the lawsuit, that doesn't involve the LGF, they can do that. So I ask you to do, Tim Bodie, thank you very much. That was a very wonderful email that
May
you
I ask
sent.
Ms. Ream just one question? I have just one question for you, Ms. Ream. If
Thank you.
DER complies to go back and not, and we continue closing the Hall Road, if DER complies to use the back Hall Road, I know that you guys have stated that, they're actually going against ordinance. They've been there for a long time, and I've reached out to them, and I guess that's kind of maybe the response that I got back to them, because, I'm trying to facilitate helping you guys in every way I can. I'm trying to facilitate helping you in every way I can.
Right.
Well, the conversation that I've had real loosely with DER is if they use the road, not the Hall Road, but the new Hall Road, would you guys still have a large problem with them moving their equipment or parking their trucks overnight?
Well, we never really addressed them because they weren't a potential problem for us, but they were a potential problem because on that road, early in the morning, boom, boom, and early in the evening, shaking the house. And again, I appreciate you even being kind enough to ask me that question, but, the council members, the mayor and the council members, they're breaking the law, so they should not be back there. They were way towards the river, and nobody knew they were parking every night, and even the structure that's back there is over 1,000 square feet. So that, I guess the residents personally wouldn't really like them to be back there, but of course, we would much rather them to be back there than on that Hall Road. We just heard a hearsay that they wanted to keep that Hall Road. That Hall Road has to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's really, thank you for asking me that question. I want everybody to obey the law.
Yes.
Okay, but that is the decision of you guys. That's one of our minor problems.
Yes, ma'am.
If they're gonna stay to the back, that's one of our minor problems. But thank you so much
you.
for giving us that opportunity
Thank
to answer that question. Thank you.
Hey, Ms. Tass.
Carla Ty saying, one, the mayor is very rude. She did not negotiate with the garbage people. She just had the people, the guy that put up the money for her to win as mayor, got paid off from Lamelli's. They don't want to pick up your trash. Nobody gives us a warning. We get in a new garbage crew. All of a sudden, I'm in the middle of 98% finished cutting a tree, and then they says, they walk up with a piece of paper right in the net. We got a new garbage people. You got to give people time and notice for all of this stuff, not just whatever. And then she threatened to fire the people back there at the maintenance department if they came up and picked up my trash. And she got the code enforcement to take a picture and go tell them that. And the only one up here was going to help me to get the trash moved for free was Craig Johnson. I had to pay $375 out of my own pocket to pick it up because my health don't let me, and she knows that. All of this stuff she's telling y'all, all of it's a lie, and she's fixing it for Romelli, and her buddies are all getting kickbacks on all of it, and she's firing people and putting their friends in office. And that's the truth. But it's wrong when you can't get your trash picked up or whatever. you know, and then we're not a part of Jefferson Parish, so we can't go to the dump there except if you want to pay more money. But everything's more money, more money, more money. Even the search. Y'all didn't let us know. All of a sudden, you just hit us with me with $100 extra. I don't have that extra $100. There's a lot of people who don't have it. You know, make a reasonable price for people. And I've been in the Harahan 56 years. I know how we've been running. And I know everybody. So.
Dale Seminole, 140 McHugh. It was mentioned earlier about somebody dumping engine oil in the recycle bins near the Harahan maintenance building. I changed my own engine oil in my cars. I've been doing it all my life. And I dispose of my engine oil at the Jefferson Parish disposable facility on David Drive. There is no charge for Harahan residents to bring engine oil there, antifreeze there, old gasoline there, old paint, as long as it's hard. They'll take it if it's hard. And if it's not hard, you can buy a hardener at the hardware store and make it hard. Old car batteries, and also any recyclables. Any of that, there's no charge for Harahan residents to use that facility. They charge Harahan residents for disposal of regular garbage, so much per pickup truck or trailer load. Now, I just found out that the O'Reilly's in River Ridge has an oil tank in the back of their store that is a public service. If you bring your old engine oil there, they will let you go in the back and dump it in that tub at no charge at O'Reilly's. Now, the other thing I want to mention about Mr. Rinelli was first here a few months ago, introduced himself, and explained his pickup. I remember him under specific questioning and clarification from the council. The question was asked to him, besides the trash can that he provides, if a Harahan resident also puts their own trash can besides their trash can, because the Rinelli trash can is full and that resident at that time has more, will he company pick up that extra trash out of the resident's trash can? He said absolutely yes, and that was clarification on that, so I remember that. So what he's saying now, they're not going to do it, that goes against what he said before. Thank you.
And thank you for the information about the oil. That's very helpful. Thank you. We will now address the council. Oh, sorry, we got one more.
Remy Donnelly, Council for Wood Materials. Real quick, we still continue to progress on the road. It's going really well, and they're working on getting even utilities out, electric and plumbing for the water truck station that will be out there. The frustration still has been, trying to get this permit from the Corps. We've followed up this week, and no response just yet. We don't have any indication that we're not going to get it. We've provided them everything they've asked for. Done all this additional testing that they asked for. We're hoping it's coming soon. In regards to the road along the levee, that will be completely grassed over.
I did email the colonel a week and a half ago, I can't recall, and he said the permitting, application process was complete, and that over the next several weeks that they would be making their decision.
Hopefully it's a good decision, because we've built the road to nowhere. Hopefully they'll be kind to us in that respect, because it's been costly so far. But the road along the levee's getting grassed over. That there's no intent. But one clarification to make, just the disclosure of any miscommunication about that. It will stay like a grassy area if by chance there was ever high water that wouldn't allow us to pass down there, and there has never been since the history of wood is known on that area. They would be forced to go back up there, but it would remain grassed over, so there wouldn't be loose dirt or anything like that. And we don't foresee that ever happening, but it would, just so you know, we would have to like have that opportunity to do that if in any event we were stuck in a situation and couldn't go down the back road, now being right on, you know, the water's edge. So just wanted to be fully clear about that.
Thank you.
Mr. Donnelly, I got one question for you. Your response to Durr, Chummy,
Durr, you know, they've been out there for forever. You know, they're on the property, and yeah, they wouldn't be using that road. You know, once we got the back road out there, you know, the same.
You know, the Reams came here about a little over a year, maybe it was longer than that, and Mr. Reams stood up in that back and very quietly started in about, hey, can we do something about this sand? And this is where we've come full circle. The Reams and then the 300 people that have supported this are not going to back down. Obviously, this is going to grow and it's going to become more and more of a potential situation, you know. So I think that we do. I'm sure that you and the owner of the company have a better lead to talk to and let's see if we can get that figured out as well. It'd be important before this escalates into
Just to
situation.
understand what's the.
Well, they're saying that Durr's going to continue to use the road up front.
They will not. I mean,
And then also Durr is actually breaking a law because they have a building too big back there and they're parking vehicles overnight.
That building's been out there for forever.
That doesn't make it right, though,
Yeah,
right?
it's coming.
I mean, it was there before I think the ordinances and all that came into play. I'll have to check on that. I'm not
I
quite.
guess you can check to see when Durr started to lease the property to put their building, right?
I can figure out what that is and when that may have occurred. But no, just any misconception about Durr using that road for forever, that's not going to happen. So, thank you.
Thank you. We will now address the council. Approval of the minutes.
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on February 16th with the corrections.
Madam Clerk, I understand Ms. Judy has been out sick. She's had multiple, I've barely seen her lately. So I was surprised she even made it tonight. I understand the minutes aren't complete due to that reason. I'd like to see if we can have a motion to defer the reading and the acceptance of the February meeting minutes from that February meeting to the May 30th date when we meet next. Can I have a motion by someone?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. And we'll go down to reading of the minutes of the council meeting on March 16th.
Do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Bodier, seconded by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on March 16th.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I just have one question. Are these the minutes that Chief had a problem with?
Yes.
Yeah.
The March meeting is the meeting that you had a problem with?
Yep.
Would you like,
I'd like to motion to send it back to get it redone.
and I have a motion to have it redone and presented at the May 30th meeting.
Correct.
By Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Hewitt. All in favor?
Yay. Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Communication.
Reading of the minutes of the Board of Adjustments and Appeals on March 15th.
Do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
On this, actually, this is the ones right here. I actually have a question about it. Mr. Kiddock's in the back. On here, it says that it was voted on 3 yeas. Is that correct? I was told it was 2 to 1.
There was multiple.
Yeah, please do.
I think there's actually 3 votes on there.
Right.
One was 3 yeas. The other one was two nays. 1 nay, which was myself, and 2 yeas.
Okay.
After this meeting, I had found out and I talked to City Hall, Judy was sick, that no matter what, you gotta have 3 yays for it to pass. And they were supposed to check with the attorney. Did they even talk to you about it?
No.
To find out, you know,
Nobody,
to find out if it's a legal vote. In other words, the parish and other municipalities say that at a variance or Board of Appeals, you have to have 3 votes because the board's made up of 5.
Okay.
Okay? I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so I called City Hall, talked to one of the girls, and told her to find out. Judy was out. Okay? I haven't heard anything. I've never even signed those minutes because of that. If you look at the minutes, I never signed them.
Right.
City Attorney Bureau.
about to ask that.
If you give us a moment.
Sure.
Yeah, because on this one where it was motion was made by Mr. Levin and seconded by, to grant the 2, it didn't say by who was seconded by, but
Right.
it says
What
to
it
grant
was is,
the
he's
2,
on a servitude.
and it says 3 yays. So,
Right.
but that was
That happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get you the variance.
But that's not what.
I got you.
what
But the
we're
next
talking about.
part
The next
is
part was
no for
put-
you, and Levin and Schwartz was yes.
Yeah, they
I
wanted
got
to
you.
put it right next
Any
to,
of that.
2 foot away from the fence.
Gotcha.
Okay? It's a brand-new construction house.
Yeah, that's not as standing out as that, so I overlooked that part. Okay.
Well, can I see that?
Yeah.
Because I never signed it. Yeah, you're right.
It didn't
Okay.
stand out as well because it wasn't.
Well, normally
like the
it
other
says
ones.
big, in big letters. Right, okay.
So the rear was approved, not the side?
Right.
Is your
But
question.
according
Okay.
to what I'm being told, and, I have no way to check that out on my own, because the Attorney General's not gonna talk to me. And neither is the LMA, because I'm a nobody. I'm just chairman of a
It's hard
board.
for all of us.
No,
No, there was,
I had 3 members present.
Well, this says there's 4 members present.
No, it was only 3 members.
It says 4.
yeah, it says
Uh,
that you
says
were
Cro-
there,
Crochet
Darlene
was there, too.
Schwartz, Shane Crochet, Guy Lavin, but then it says
No.
absent was Shane Crochet.
Shane Crochet wasn't there.
Right.
There was only 3 of us there.
Gotcha.
Because they also have Shane
2 to
passing
1.
a yay vote at the very end. How could he pass a yay
And I
vote
mean,
if he
I've talked
wasn't
to
there?
attorneys about it, I've talked to everybody.
The critical language is whether it's all members present and voting or all members. So I'm looking for the state statute right now because the local rule, the local.
I have state behind it. Who takes your minutes? Who took the minutes? It says that somebody approved to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, we have
who
somebody
wasn't
that
there.
gave a yay vote that was not present at the
I haven't
meeting.
seen it.
Right here. Motion was made to adjourn, and Mr. Crochet
Yeah.
was a yay who wasn't there.
No, Shane wasn't
But
there.
maybe
There
he was.
Who typed these? Oh, okay. I don't know if this is right.
Judy does the minutes
Right.
for our
We're
board.
not approving. I mean, we can't.
But I talked with a couple of people at Jefferson Parish, and they said, if you only had 3 people there, you gotta have 3 yes.
My suspicion is that you have to.
And when I called and told them, I said, you might wanna tell the guy to hold up from doing anything, and this is a couple weeks ago.
So maybe spending money to
Well,
do the 2 feet on the side?
So this meeting was March 15th. Mr. Kadak, and you haven't heard back from anybody. So this gentleman's been sitting
So
here
it
for a
is.
month.
And look, you bear in mind, this is my off-the-cuff reading it this afternoon, Title 33, 4727,
Nicole,
D2.
no one give him the mic.
The
Mike.
concurring vote of a majority of the members of the board present and voting shall be necessary.
So majority.
No, majority of the members, board members present and voting. So a majority of the members present and voting means 2 of the 3 is enough to
Right, so just the
reverse,
majority. not-
affirm, wholly or in
And you had
part,
a
modify the order, requirement, decision, or determination appeal from.
So it didn't have to
But
be
let me,
everybody
look,
voting
this is,
for it.
it's a 4-page statute, so let me
Okay.
take a look at it.
So will we vote just to accept the minutes, or will we just
You
push it
accept
off?
the min-
Yeah.
or you said the minutes were incorrect.
No, they're
yeah, they're incorrect. They have people
Well,
voting and people not
Oh,
there.
right, right, right. I
Let's-
got you.
let's-
I got
let's
you.
kick it back
Crochet.
and get
Yep,
the
there you
right
go.
minutes.
Like I said,
And then
that's,
we can
I've
consider
never
the next
signed
one.
it.
Right.
Can I have a motion to defer
redo them?
the minutes to
Motion is set back to,
May
to
30th?
fix.
To the May 30th.
For May
Right,
30th.
on fixing,
Correct.
let's delineate who was present, correct?
Yeah.
Present.
Okay. Did
you give it to him?
Is that all it was just who was present? Is
They only had 3 people
right.
present.
But what's
The only-
wrong with
That was the error?
that was the only thing what's wrong with the minutes was who's present.
I've never read the minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
They've never been given
Well,
to me. 6
we'll
Okay.
forward them to you.
We'll yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So Mayor, real
I
quick.
talked
Save your paper.
I just keep going back to this gentleman that's been sitting here in just limbo until we give him an answer, and now we're going to defer him again?
Well, wait a minute. I don't know what the city has done. They might have sent him a letter.
Well-
See, as being the chairman, I've been the chairman for 10 years.
No,
I used to sign every letter, a denial or an approval. In the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't signed them.
Who signs them?
I have no idea. But I sign the minutes and read them. Judy makes any corrections normally that, if there's a problem with it. And I sign the minutes. But like I said, for the 10 years before that, I signed pretty much everything. Either me or David Cobb, because David, the regulatory director. I don't know who's signing it now.
Well, I'll get, if you would like, we can meet.
Sure.
Either, probably Monday. That's okay with you, Richard?
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll talk about meeting, delineate some of the issues, and
Sure.
we can get back to you formally, something formally, and then we will defer the minutes, the reading and the approval or accepting of the minutes until May 30th, pending correction. And
Right.
you can review the minutes prior.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay?
All righty.
Right.
I will
Anything
just, I will just say again that I don't think Mr. Kutcha, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, needs to be sitting in limbo for a mistake that we made. And I'm just going to go on the record for that. He was advised to just hold tight, and I understand that till there's clarification, and now we're going to advise him to wait again.
Well,
I'm just saying
I can't
that, that's
tell
all.
you what the
I'm not-
city
I'm not-
has done with him, because I have nothing to do
You
with
know
it.
that he was advised not to proceed with his work?
I believe Mr. Kiddock could just mention that, just to
he
kind of
was?
sit tight until these
No.
were
I
approved.
just said.
No,
I don't-
no.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm
said,
sorry, I thought that's what you said.
I don't know
That's-
if the city
I thought that's
has
what
told
you-
him to do it or not to do it.
Right.
I have no idea.
Based on it was approved, it had 2 yays. What he's saying is he's not sure if it needs 3 or 2.
So we
Yours
don't
is
know if
gonna
this- so we don't
clarify-
even know what this
Yeah,
gentleman
but
has
the-
been told.
The gentleman could have left the meeting and went and did the work, is what your point is.
Right, and
Now, he's not in limbo, he might have done the work.
Well, first he has to get the permit, right?
I don't have anything to do with that either.
Right. I mean, that's the requirement. I want to do something.
Right.
I might need a variance. They won't give me the permit, so I have to get the variance. So that's what he was before.
I
you brought up.
apologize, Richard. I thought you said that he was
Well-
advised to stop, and now we're delaying him any further. That's all.
Okay, let me start from scratch.
Okay.
He came to the city, it's a brand-new residence, okay? He came to the city, he formed up his garage, okay, 5 foot away from the side property line. He wanted to change it, so he came to the board, okay? The only way the board can vote to give somebody a variance is there has to have a hardship. And Harahan laws state from A to I think it's G, the criteria to meet that. It's very hard to meet unless you got an abnormal lot or something, especially on a new house, okay? But the board votes the way they vote. As soon as I found out about it, I contacted him and said, you need to find out if we need 3 votes, okay? Because they're saying according to state law, we did, okay? And state law trumps our law or whatever. I don't care. So basically, I don't know where we're at. I've never heard back from the office.
City Hall.
City Hall, okay? And when Craig called me up here, I didn't even notice. Like I said, normally I sign them. In fact, I sign them every time we have a variance. I just don't send the letters out anymore, or sign the letters anymore. So.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, that's no problem. And maybe what you misunderstood when I said is, maybe somebody ought to find out while we're waiting, make sure he didn't pull his flag.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure since March 15th, you probably poured some
In
cement.
other words, if you pour the slab and they need 3 votes,
It's already done.
you know?
Well, just looking at what this, the procedure is supposed to be this. I file my plans with the city gives me a permit, I go out and I start building as the plans direct. If I want to change the plans, I gotta go back to City Hall, pull a new permit. If they say you don't get a permit, then they come to your board, and you make a decision as to whether he gets the variance or not. Now, maybe a little, something got skipped.
Well, no, I'm sure he had a permit because he's building a house.
Yeah, because he's building a house.
But he just wanted to move his garage, so.
Now, technically, what you're supposed to do is come back with a new plan that says, this is what I'm changing, and let the permitting officer say yes or no. And then they take that, if they get a no, they come to you and they say, I need a variance.
Right.
It sounds like what happened was, as a good citizen, he said, first, let me go see if I can get the variance, and then you guys tell the permitting officer what to do. Be that as it may, it does appear that, and I'll put this in writing, but it does appear that 2 votes is enough. If your quorum's 3,
Okay.
it says the members present and voting, and that's as clear as day. That's what it, you know.
He got a letter from the city.
Okay, great.
Here you go.
Well, I tell you what, I'll get that from you.
No, I don't, it's not
And
my
I'll give
phone,
you-
it's his
and I'll
phone.
get- Great, and I'll get you the formal opinion, and maybe that'll take care of it.
Okay, all righty.
Thank you. So
Anything else?
we have a motion on the table to defer the reading and the acceptance of the
To
Board
send-
and Adjustment meeting.
Send back for
minutes
corrections,
from
right.
March 15th to May 30th. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
By Councilman Johnson, seconded by Councilman Hewitt. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Resolutions.
I got mine. I get it. Can I keep this, the minutes? Okay, great.
I'm making it for everybody.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Okay, you can start.
All right, resolutions. This is proposed resolution number 2017-5. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Johnston. This is a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city of Harahan, state of Louisiana, to authorize the levy of a special tax therein, making application to the State Bond Commission in connection therewith, and providing for other matters in connection therewith.
Should we offer this unanimously?
Whatever you want to do. What do you want to do, John?
I have a clarification. There was a piece of paper handed out which looks like an amendment to the resolution.
Correct.
And,
I had just talked to Hugh Martin about it before the meeting.
right. I wish that we could talk about these things and kind of
Right.
know ahead of time, because I worry about public notice, advertisement, et cetera.
And I had talked to Mr. Hugh on
I
that.
know, well, I'd like to hear from Mr. Hughes, since I wasn't
Yes.
involved in any of the discussion.
Right, I was only spoken to about that today. And the resolution as it's drafted provides for a 5 mil tax. And the discussion was whether or not, instead of calling this election for 5 mills, if tonight you could call it for 3 mills instead. We've been required to publish a notice in the newspaper that you would meet tonight and consider a resolution to call an election for a millage. It did not state the number of mills.
Okay.
Nothing that has been published stated the number of mills. So if you wish tonight to change your resolution to reflect the 3 mil authorization, you would just have to change it to 3 mills. Plus, you've got to refigure the amount of dollars
Correct.
that it brings. It would bring 3/5 of what's in there now. You'd have to put that amount in. You figured it out already.
Okay.
Yeah, so if there are any questions, more, but if you, whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if I talk about, before I motion for the amendment, I've talked to a couple citizens that just felt 5 might have been a little too high. So I had come to the conclusion that maybe I'll drop it down to 3 for now to give a little more option of being able to actually be voted on by the people. They thought it was a little high to vote on 5.
Thank you for clarifying.
But I would like to motion to change in the resolution.
Can I ask a question? 'Cause sometimes we've done this like this. Gilbert, to do this before the public hearing, is that open to public
Oh,
hearing?
to do the amendment before
Yes.
the public hearing?
It-
Well, you're gonna have the public hearing on the ordinance, as the resolution is amended, so I don't see a problem.
Right, and it kind of gives the public a better
Yeah, the
chance
public
to.
then knows
to-
what it's
to-
what it's
Right, I
about.
think that's a good
That's-
practice, correct?
That's no problem.
Okay. Please
Okay.
finish your statement.
I motion to amend on the resolution on the first page to go from 5 mils to 3 mils and changing the dollar amount from $427,965 to $256,779. That is on the very first page, and also on the first page of Exhibit A is the same.
I have a motion as stated and written by Councilman Johnston, seconded by?
Second.
To amend the resolution 2017-5, seconded by Councilman Hewitt. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Amendment to resolution 2017 passes. Madam Clerk, if you would document those changes. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Open to public hearing. Anyone who would like to come up and speak? If there's no one who wishes to come up and speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion to close the public hearing by Councilman Johnson, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Proposed resolution, Jeanette?
That was to close the public hearing.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have
Council
council-
discussion. Any further discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion.
Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote
Motion.
to approve the resolution as amended?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Hewitt. All in favor of
Yay.
the approval? Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is accepted as amended. Proposed resolution 2017-6.
The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council of the city of Harahan.
Thank you, Mr. Hugh.
Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. Hugh Martin. I'm calling you by your first name, sorry.
A resolution accepting funds from Jefferson Parish for the year 2016 in the amount of $75,000 for the City of Harahan Fire Department for funding to purchase essential firefighting equipment.
Can I have a motion to, I've talked to City Attorney Burris, and he said we can just motion to fix the numbers if you would like. From the 75,000, it's supposed to read 74,950. Can I have a motion to amend the number?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Hewitt, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Johnston. All in favor? Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. The resolution now reads, instead of 75,000, to 74,950.
Did I really leave $50 on the table? That's horrible.
What?
That won't happen again.
Just so you know, we're talking. Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor? Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. If there's no one wishing to speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Sue Benton. I'm going, what? All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Just one thing, a little nitpicking, I guess. You said something about me on the last resolution because we didn't get it until the minute of the resolution, but then you pull something at the minute of the resolution. That's all. She called me out because I made an amendment that they didn't know that I was going to bring up on my resolution. And I gave it at the time that I was given the motion to do it, and they did the same thing. But that's fine. But you did the same thing, so that's fine for you, but not okay for me. That's all. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All right.
Lines 26 and 29, where it says the dollar amounts accepted into the lines?
Yes.
Because you only said the title.
I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to amend line
26
26
and 29.
and 29
From
of the body of
75,000.
the resolution to replace 75,000 with the number 74,950?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston to amend, seconded by, what? By Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays, and Ms. Lulu, thank you for pointing that out. Amendment is approved. Any further discussion? Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by? Councilman Hewitt. All in favor to approve?
Yay.
We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion, the resolution is accepted.
Alrighty. Proposed resolution number 2017-7. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. A resolution accepting funds from Jefferson Parish for the year 2017 in the amount of $75,000 for the City of Harahan Fire Department for funding to purchase essential firefighting equipment.
Do I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by? Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak, please come up to the podium. If there's no one wishing to speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to close the public hearing passes. Council discussion?
Yeah, I forgot to say it on the last one also, but thank you, Councilman Paul Johnston, for the money.
Thank you very
Yep.
much. Any further discussion?
No discussion.
Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote?
Motion.
I have a motion to approve the resolution. I have a motion by Councilman Benton, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution passes, and again, thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Councilman.
You get one more.
Proposed resolution number 2017-8. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. A resolution accepting funds from Jefferson Parish for the year 2017 in the amount of $180,000 for the City of Harahan Police Department for the purchase of new vehicles to be used as police vehicles.
Do I have a motion to open to public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Anyone wishing to speak, please step forward.
As I mentioned before, this is towards the purchase of 8 new cars that are on order. It doesn't have the total cost. We have some additional funds we're going to put to go with it, but I can't thank Councilman Johnson enough. I mean, our fleet has been replaced by him for the past 3 years prior to me even coming in office. It wouldn't be for him, we wouldn't have no cars for our police department. Thank you for it.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Again, thank you, Councilman Paul Johnston.
Yes, thank you. Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor to approve?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is accepted.
All right, proposed resolution number 2017-9. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council, and it's a cooperative endeavor agreement by and between the City of Harahan and the Harahan Athletic Association.
Do I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Wheeler, seconded by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Anyone wishing to come up and speak? If there's no one up to speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Mr. Chatelain, are you here as a representative of them right now? Are you good with the way it's written up now?
Well,
you-
would you just, so that they can get the recording? I'm
Eric
not-
Chatelain, President of Athletic Association. Yeah, we went back and forth with some emails and stuff, and they have everything. I think we both agree on both sides of the fence.
Okay. So
Did you get
everybody's
a
calm.
key?
No key.
No key.
Waiting on a key.
Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution with the cooperative endeavor agreement?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution and cooperative endeavor agreement approved.
We need to make a motion to give the president of the Harahan Athletic Association a
Some
key.
keys.
We've been promising this key for about 60 days.
Y'all gonna sign the agreement another day?
3 months.
We can sign, actually, if he would like to sign it right now, and I can sign it after the meeting, if you'd like.
I'll wait till we get the insurance.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Resolution 2017-10.
Alrighty, Resolution 2017-10. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. This is a resolution accepting the donation of a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria from Jefferson Parish to the City of Harahan Police Department.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. If there's no one up to speak for this resolution, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Bodier, seconded by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Council discussion?
Just seems like it's all about Councilman Paul Johnson tonight. He's giving us everything. Thank you for the car,
It's just writing
for the
checks.
vehicle.
Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson. Second by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution passes.
Proposed resolution number 2017-11. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. A resolution accepting the donation of a 2008 John Deere Gator and a 2002 Genie Man Lift from Jefferson Parish to the City of Harahan for use by the Harahan Fire Department.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak? If there's no one wishing to speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Benton. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Just one more time after this, but thank you, Councilman Paul Johnson.
Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman
Second.
Johnson, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is passed.
Thank you once
Resolution 2017-12.
Proposed resolution number 2017-12. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. The resolution accepting the donation of a 2008 Ford Ranger from Jefferson Parish to the City of Harahan for use by the Harahan Maintenance Department.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Anyone, since no one's wishing to address, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Bodier, seconded by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Last time. Thank you, Paul Johnston, Councilman Paul Johnston. We appreciate
Since it's the
everything you
last
give us
time.
and you do for us.
Thank you very, very much on the city's behalf. Do I have a motion to proceed with the vote to approve the resolution?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay. Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution passes. Ordinances for approval.
This was ordinance number 1824, which was vetoed. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Johnston and seconded by Councilman Hewitt. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1806, the annual budget of revenue and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2016 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana, for the police department.
Do I have a motion to open to public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnston, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Bodier. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Public hearing is now open. If there's no one wishing to speak, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion by Councilman Bodier, seconded by Councilman
Motion.
Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? We have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion.
Just wanted to say, just like Chief was talking about earlier, this ordinance come back up because they had something in there that was not correct, and they want to rectify on the auditor's side. So that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Are we going to bring up Chief's question? Are we going to discuss that?
That's good. Yeah, if you have to bring it up, you would have to bring it up either now.
Begin the meeting to Ms. Lulu
Yeah,
and
you-
to Ms. Hammond.
Right.
What's under first reading, right?
You can ask questions about this ordinance if it pertains to that ordinance during this, I would say, I would think. So if you have
Chief, do
questions.
you mind
I'm sure-
asking your question again?
Again, as I previously stated, we're looking at our monies that we hadn't spent in 2016 on our operating budget. When this was put together, it showed 191,000. Since then, they said we 70,000. There's some other things that came into play. We received a notice from Ms. Lulu in, I don't remember the date, but it was for end of November 2016. The police department had $500 and something thousand still in their budget, which I find hard to believe. Then when they do the payouts, we don't spend the $300,000-$400,000 in a month. Then we have to start over with, we're only $79,000 under budget. I don't have a clear, maybe Ms. Lulu can explain how we spent $300, almost $400,000 in 1 month. Linda, can you explain that?
Why don't you, can you bring it down for you?
No, it doesn't reach.
Do we use this one?
Well, this works. I don't recall sending you anything that said that you had a $500,000 under budget in November, because the last statement I'd given you was October, and then we jumped to December, so I never said anything about November.
I didn't say, you said it was in what you'd sent out.
I don't know what you're talking about, I'm sorry.
Give me a second.
We can address the facts, though.
The bulk of what ends up being spent for every department at year end is the accrual for salaries. And I don't know what yours was at the end of the year, but it seems like it was 80 or 90,000 at the end of the year. I want to quote on that for you. I know then you also spent like $82,000 on your equipment at the end of the year.
Yeah, but still, you said $500,000 going into December. Here it is here. We're reading that correct? Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, my email says that attached are the financial statements from Encode through November, and that the general fund shows a net income of approximately $578,000. That's the whole general fund. In December, there are usual monthly expenses, plus there are many expenditures that need to be accrued for, including year-end payroll. So I was expecting that the year-end net revenue to be somewhere around $50,000 to $100,000, which, as the mayor started her speech tonight with, we are actually net revenue of $25,000, so that wasn't too bad. But we did have grant expenses that need to be accrued for, although we're not done with that yet. The printout from Encode does show 505,000 for your department. I cannot tell you.
For what month ending?
It says November.
It's kind of
Bulk- the
hard to
bulk
operate
of
a
the-
department where you have no idea where we're at financially, and I strive with my staff very, very hard to stay within budget. And everything fluctuates. I know we didn't spend $300,000-$400,000 in 1 month. But the information we have available to it, it shows that we had $505,143.64 at the end of November. And I know I didn't spend $300-something thousand in December. So,
So you're saying you're at 79 now?
well, we disagree.
Oh, okay.
That's what the bottom line that Ms. Lulu says. We're 79,000 under budget at the end of 2016.
Chief said he's thinking about more about 137, correct?
That was what we believe it is. And then also they put in the associated, they said before they weren't going to charge us those associated expenses. Half of HR, 35% of the mayor's salary, 35% of 2 other city employees' salaries, that they weren't going to take it out.
We
Well,
offered to take it out. We took it out in budget amendments in October
No,
and in
not- no.
January, and the budget amendments never passed, so they are still in there.
The money's still there.
The expenditure budget line item for you and for all the other departments was whatever the original budget was in 2016. Since the council never did actually amend those line items,
The money's still there.
the expense is still there.
The
We
money's
allocated
still,
the
well, they
expense
said they
still there.
weren't going to charge the expense, but the
Count-
revenue was still there.
Can't do that.
Pardon?
I'm asking, because without an amendment, we can't do
Yeah,
anything.
we can't just not do an allocation or charge a department for a line item based upon oral agreements. We wanted to take it off. You asked for us to take it off. We said, okay. We put up budget amendments several times, and the council never passed any of those budget amendments that moved the line items.
Okay, my question, the money's still there then?
What do you mean the money?
The
is
money's still
there?
in our account. It's still in our operating budget for the police department for 2016, that $57,000 is correct?
It came in less than that, but yeah.
No, that's not, wasn't a question.
I don't
We were
understand.
budgeted $57,000. So that money should still be in that account in my budget.
It was
Um,
allocated out, yes.
But I have an email from the
Can
mayor
I,
saying it
can I
wasn't
have
being
like a
taken out.
minute recess?
I just don't understand why I'm
Can
paying.
I have a minute recess? For, thank you.